Hey, it's Camo with the Nashville Access Show presented by Solis North Gulch Apartments, where taste matters. Cool show today. I think you're really going to enjoy it, in spite of the guy I'm going to introduce.
I feel like Rodney Dangerfield. I get no respect.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, Keith Burns, and you brought a special friend today.
I did, all the way from the West Coast.
Wow.
All the way from California, the Golden State, the great state of California. I got top reporter, Inside Edition, Lisa Guerrero here.
Hello.
It's so good to have you.
It's great to be here.
You guys have just put out a single, and it's a duet, and it's getting a lot of attention here.
It is.
What's the name of the song?
It's called Everybody Loves a Comeback.
That's a cool title.
Thank you.
What inspired the two of you to work together?
I know, right? We're kind of two different people from two different places.
Yeah. Well, he's two different people from two different places all by
Just
himself.
by himself. The story is a funny one because it started a long time ago and there was a pause in between and we picked it up 2 months ago. But 10 years ago, I was at a charity event with a bunch of country music artists and professional athletes. A 2-day golf tournament fundraiser in, I think it was Bowling Green, Kentucky. And I was, on the first day, there was a group of us, I think there was like a pre-registration party or something, and people were drinking and carrying on, and my favorite, can you imagine?
Athletes and
right, it's shocking. My favorite all-time band is The Clash. I don't know a lot about country music, and I certainly didn't know 10 years ago. And I was popping off, and I said, how hard can it be to write a country song? And of course, all the country music people were furious. Yes. And we're doing shots, and somebody says, I'll bet you $20 you can't write a song. And I said, I'll take that bet. In 24 hours, I'm going to write a song, country music song. So the guys go golfing the next day. I go to my hotel, and I write what is essentially a poem, not a song, about a comeback, a baseball player making a comeback into the world of baseball, and a woman making a comeback into the workforce, and finally a soldier who wants to come back from Afghanistan. So it's called a comeback, and everybody loves a comeback. So I show up the next day with this scribble, novel / poem, and I hand it to the guy, and he looks at it, he's like, wow, this is good. And he takes out his wallet, gives me $20. I won the bet. And I thought, well, that's it, I won the bet. What's happening now? And he goes, have you met Keith Burns? He's here. And I said, no. And he brings Keith over and he goes, check this out. And then Keith read it. And then
I took it and worked on it and threw it, recorded like a little work tape of it and sent it back to her. And she goes, oh, that's great, this is great. And then I thought that'd be the end of it, and she... Fast forward 10 or so years to a couple months ago, she goes, hey, remember that song? And there she calls. I didn't even answer. I was in the studio, and my wife answered. Remember that song? I said, yeah. She goes, what's the chance of me coming in and us finishing that and then going in the studio? And I went, well, I don't know about going in the studio with it. I said, but let me kind of get my brain wrapped around it. So, long story short, she flies in, we go over to CSAC, we get in the writing room, we write the thing, finish it off, give it the direction it needs, go in the studio with James Stroud the next day.
No Sludge is a producer.
Well, no, James has produced a couple of hits in his day. Yeah. So, but the main thing with James is he won't cut anything unless he thinks it's a hit song as far as to be. But once we went in there and he cut, he goes, man, this is really, really good. And it's heartwarming and it's touching. And so we got the A players in there, and then we got Presley and Taylor. It's a sister act that my wife and I manage. It was their session that we put this song on. So we ended up coming in, they sang background. Lisa came in and did the background harmonies with me, and it sounds great. She sings good, and
I'm not giving up my day job. I'm still going to be on Inside Edition chasing bad guys.
She'll probably be interviewing you after this.
Yeah.
Okay, where were you last Saturday night?
But the cool thing is, if you are interviewing artists in the future, you can say, I can sing with you on this.
Yeah, I got a song.
Let's sing the interview.
Yeah, I got a song idea.
Yeah.
But I mean, the funny thing about the whole story behind the song is that, you know, there's a reason people are in your life, I believe, for, you know, at certain points, and you're supposed to get something out of that, and you don't know what that means maybe at the time. And it really took that song, his original work tape, was on my phone for 10 years. And anytime I'd meet anybody that liked country, I'd say, listen to this song.
Yeah.
And Keith Burns, this is Keith Burns, and he and I co-wrote this. And they would listen to it and they go, what? Why isn't this song on the radio? This is amazing. And so 10 years later, you know, here when we got back together a couple months ago, and we rewrote the song and really concentrated on the soldier story and made it a patriotic love song. Now I look back at you know, what it took to get to where we are sitting today, and there was definitely a path that was meant to be, because Keith and I are very different people from different places, but what brought us together was music and our love for this country, our love for God, and our faith, and just the fact that people can be coming together. And the theme of the song is about reunification. Mm-hmm. Everybody loves a comeback, come back home. And so that's really about kind of the meaning behind the song.
Wow, that's an amazing story. You hear all sorts of, you know, Nashville, every song has a story about how it got to where it was, but this is something completely different.
Yeah, you know, so sometimes it kind of makes you realize you don't focus on something too heavy. You just kind of do what you do, and as you go through life, you know, the path you take, you know, if something's meant to be, I mean, you got to work hard for something, but if something's meant to be, it'll eventually find its way into your path, and you can pick it up and move on it again. So I think now, you know, given 10 years ago, you put out something like, you know, that we did, it wasn't ready yet. It wasn't finished. It wasn't a finished product. Now we retooled it, and
10 years ago, country was moving much more to the pop R&B side, and now you're in, it's the pendulum is swinging back right now, and it's perfect timing musically for what you've got.
you know, listen, a good story song and something that touches your heart and pulls at your emotions never goes out of style. Not in country music. I mean, it may, you know, you may go through different types of stuff. You may go through the bro country or pop country or, you know, hip hop country even, you know, but you put something with substance out there. Your core country music people they're gonna enjoy it.
A good song is a good song is a good song.
It doesn't matter. Yeah,
a good song.
Absolutely.
And we've said too that a good song can cross genres because the writing is that strong.
Absolutely.
The instrumentation and production can do anything, but it's at the core. It's still a great song.
Yeah.
And you've cut a few great songs in your career.
I've been
I have. Burns and Poe, that was a great thing too.
You know, that was to me. I mean, I've been very blessed and very fortunate. You know, I worked hard. It all, you know, starting from 1990 when I came into this town, working and playing bass and writing for Joe Diffie. I mean, I've just been blessed. You know, I came into this town and you know, we were discussing this earlier with out in LA, and she's done everything from acting to modeling to Inside Edition, and you know, the two things that are in this town, in Music City, which we've renamed Crane City, the two things that are constant that go together with her business and her industry and our business is you've got to hustle.
Yeah.
You can't just rest on your laurels in any of this and think that you're just gonna, you know, slide right on by. You know, for every Keith Urban, I guarantee you Keith Urban's out there busting his tail on a daily basis to maintain where he's at.
And it's not just the hustle; it's surrounding yourself with great people.
Better than you. Yeah. I've always done that. I've always picked band members. I've always picked people in my management, that producers musicians, songwriters. I've always picked people and wanted to work with people better than I was, and have no shame in admitting that, none, because I think I'm in that long line of successful people that do that same thing. Reba McEntire and all that. You want to be with people better than you.
They lift you up.
Absolutely. That's why I'm with Lisa. She's better than me.
This is so fascinating to hear Keith talk about this, because I haven't been exposed to this world, and Keith is teaching me and introducing me to folks.
Oh, Keith will teach you.
Well,
I may teach you wrong, but I'm gonna teach you. Hey, listen. She not only we've got our second idea that we're writing a song, and then we're working on that. She's already got her own publishing company set up through CSAC. She's a CSAC writer, which you've got to be invited to be. But Shannon Hatch over there with CSAC has invited her, and so she's over there. She's a CSAC writer, and she's set up her company, and it looks like she's planning on coming to Nashville quite a bit and write songs, and when she's not catching bad guys and putting them in jail.
Writing songs, find me a future husband. There we go.
Oh,
looking for a cowboy.
Lord.
Now, before we get you to play the song, before you came here, you were at WSM.
Mm-hmm.
And Lisa, you were saying that's the first time you've heard the finished song on the radio.
Correct.
And what happened?
I cried.
Yeah.
I mean, this is such an emotional song, first of all. I get the chills when I hear the song still, and the way that Keith sings it is so heartfelt. And so just as a music fan, I listen to him singing the song, and I have an emotional connection, obviously, having helped give birth to the song in terms of some of the lyrics and the concepts. But to hear him sing it, and to know that our work is being heard by other people and hopefully appreciated by other people, it's just an emotional thing. You know, I'm on TV every day, but what I do is something very different than this.
Do you want to do the song?
Sure. Yeah, she scares people most of the time.
Well, you scare people too.
I do not.
But for a different reason.
You only say that. You only say it because it's true.
You're watching the Nashville Access Show with Camo. My special guests today, Keith Burns and Lisa Guerrero.
I love this place, by the way. This building's beautiful. They were sitting in a diner, waiting on the bus. She pulled out a letter, put down his coffee cup, and with a smile, she handed him that note. And he got all choked up when he read what she wrote. Everybody loves a comeback. When you're thinking hope is gone, I'll be that spark inside your heart that keeps you holding on. While you're away, promise I'll stay strong. Everybody loves a comeback. Baby, come back home. He's been fighting for his country, going on 3 years. He's up at dawn, puts his boots on, and packs up all his gear. He thinks about her back in Santa Fe. Every night she says her prayers, he reads her letter every day. Everybody loves a comeback. When you're thinking hope is gone, I'll be that spark inside your heart that keeps you holding on. While you're away, I promise I'll stay strong. Everybody loves a comeback. Baby, come back home. Oh, when she met him at the airport, should have seen them tears of joy, not a dry in the crowd when she said meet your baby boy. Everybody loves a comeback. When you think that hope is gone, I'll be that spark inside your heart that keeps you holding on. While you're away, I promise I'll stay strong. Everybody loves a comeback. Baby, come back home. Everybody loves a comeback. Baby, welcome home.
Wow. Nailed that puppy. That's great.
Thank you.
That's a really good song.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. What's it like, Lisa, when there's people all over Nashville that would kill to have their song spun on WSM and
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel, first of all, completely blessed. And again, the right place at the right time, around the right people, and timing is everything. But I do, I've spent my whole life writing. I write poems, and I come from a family of singers and songwriters and poets. And so I write, and I am a storyteller as a journalist.
Yeah.
And I care about human emotions, and I care about victims, and I'm always the underdog, fighting for the underdog as a social justice warrior and a victims advocate. So for me, the thought of a comeback and the human behind the story, and really that's kind of what connects me to music in this way, is it's just a song about people. It's human.
it's great. It's a really good song. From a songwriter standpoint, I think every songwriter I've known has always had the situation where somebody has said, here's a poem I've written.
Yeah.
Can you turn that into a song? And it's not as easy as it sounds.
It's kind of what I do. When I first came to town in '90, I thought I was a songwriter, and then I started listening to people and hanging around Joe Diffie and writers that wrote stuff, Home and The Devil Danced in Empty Pockets, just all these great songs that came around at that point in time, and I realized I really wasn't that good, and so I really honed in on my craft. And the beautiful thing about being a songwriter is you can always learn, and you can do it till the day you take your last breath. I entertained the thought of being an athlete at one point. I think I'm glad I chose this, because you can be an athlete till you retire, with 30s or whatever, but man, you can do this, and the thing about it is, the more I've written over the years, the more I've learned to craft things. So it's not, to answer your question, no, it's not the easiest thing, but it is kind of what you do. Is the story worth it? When she comes up and hands you 10 pages of poetry, is the basis of that worth writing, breaking it down to a 3.5-minute movie, because essentially that's what you're doing when you write a song.
It's like the old joke about Michelangelo sculpting the statue of David, and it's, how did you do that? And, well, I just chipped away everything that wasn't David, and that's what you're doing.
Oh man, boy, I just
Beautiful
got
analogy.
chills.
Yeah,
man.
that's a
I
great
just got
analogy.
chills. Thanks for that. I'm stealing that.
All right.
I just chipped away at everything that wasn't Everybody Loves a Comeback.
It was interesting to see him work, right? Because that thing had sat around on my phone for a long time, and it was a different version, and it wasn't this. And to get together with him in a writing room and for us to be, kicking ideas back and forth, but his ability to just take a sound and figure out the words that go best with that sound to get to the next line that makes the most sense, that honors the song and the theme of really what the story is. He's able to do, it's just amazing to watch it. As somebody that is a journalist, it's amazing to watch it.
But
And speaking of that too, we are taping this whole journey we filmed,
Right.
because I'm doing a 30-minute documentary for my YouTube channel about the making of this song, kind of what has happened behind the scenes. And we're performing it for the first time in front of an audience tonight.
Wow.
And Inside Edition's doing a story about it the day that the song comes out on August 16th.
Wow.
Because there's a story behind the song.
Yeah. That's great.
And there's a story behind us, that goes with the whole meeting at the thing. And we're given, the cool thing about it is, it comes full circle with the fact that we met at a charity event, and portions of this song go to two different charities. It comes back, so it's a win-win situation. I've got a percentage going to Folds of Honor for our troops, and anytime I dedicate this song, every time I play it live, which by the way, it's going over great live, and I always dedicate it not to just the ones who came back, but the ones who didn't. Yeah. And then you're giving
my percentage is going to IRE. It's a journalist fund for investigative journalists. It's a scholarship fund for needy students that want to get into journalism.
That's incredible. While you were singing Harmonies, I was reminded of an old episode of 60 Minutes, because singing harmonies isn't easy. You're automatically tempted to do the melody line, but when you've got to go up or below, it's a whole other world. And I remember Ed Bradley interviewing George Burns, and George Burns says everybody can sing harmony, and so he had Ed just sing this one line, and then he sang everything around it. So there, he sang harmony.
Amazing.
there you go.
So the song comes out on August 16th.
16th, and we're going to drop a lyric video close to that. It's going to be, and I think the video is going to be really special. They're working on it right now. It's going to obviously have some touching moments with, to be honest, we wouldn't even have to do a video. We could just take stuff you see on YouTube and take kids coming home to their parents in the airport, and there wouldn't be a dry eye, watching. But we're going to do a little more than that. We're going to go, and we've got the backdrop of the story and us getting back together and writing the thing, and that's going to be intertwined with the whole emotional part of it. And then we're shooting some video tonight live at 3rd and Lindsay. Hopefully you'll be there.
Try to come out. Yeah,
I hope so.
Cool.
You want to introduce us? You can introduce me on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my buddy, Keith Burns, and Inside Edition, Lisa Guerrero, the voice of an angel. Hey, I got us a little trivia here that you probably don't know. We found this out on the drive over here when I was weaving in and out of the Gulch. She has been everything from a professional cheerleader to a model to Inside Edition to an actress. This I didn't know. She had her own Barbie doll.
Really?
So Mattel, back in the day, when I was in my 20s, they hired real life actors and models to play Barbie and to go all over the world and wear the outfits and introduce the new, holiday Barbie or, the new special Barbies. And you're like a rock star to 6-year-old girls, by the way. You walk into a children's hospital as Barbie and they go crazy. So I did all these appearances as Barbie, and they were introducing the Latino Barbie that year called Teresa. And some executive saw me in a lobby and I thought he was checking me out. And he goes, "You look exactly like our new our new Latina Barbie, Teresa. Can you come and work for Mattel?" And it was $500 a day, which was a fortune.
No, I'll pass.
Yeah, and so that's what I did. So I went around, but here's the funny thing, because I was the brunette Barbie, they were introducing Country Rose Barbie that year, who plays at Grand Ole Opry, and she's wearing an outfit that looks like an old Patsy Cline outfit. Yeah. And so I have been on the stage at the Grand Ole Opry as Country Rose Barbie 20 years ago.
Well, maybe 20 years later we can sing. You can sing. Just don't be country. Just dress like that.
Yeah, just be normal.
Well, and the name Keith is very close to Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not many people know this. I was broke Ken. She was Latina Barbie, Teresa. I was broke Ken. I was the cowboy that came to Nashville to try to make it and is on the sidewalk. I've come equipped with my own tip jar and everything.
We haven't touched on the Latino aspect of this because it seems like there are a lot more Latinos getting into country music. And the early pioneers like Freddie Fender.
Oh, was listening to him. Did you hear me listening to him while you were getting ready this morning? Freddie Fender.
Aldemar G. Huerta, I think was his real
Man,
name.
was he was insane.
And then Rick Trevino, and there's
Johnny Rodriguez,
Johnny
too.
Rodriguez, yeah. So many, but it just seems, especially out of the Texas area,
Oh.
there's some.
Oh, yeah.
You know, a friend of mine, Matt Castillo, is coming up.
Matt Castillo.
Yeah, he's incredible. So it's great to see more Latinos represented in country
Well, I
music.
think it's great that there's, a culture here that's willing to embrace Latinos, because music is such a universal language that everybody cares about and everybody speaks, and it's a growing market here, so, it's smart to reach out to the Latino market.
You want to do another song for us?
If he brings you happiness. Let's say that. If he brings you happiness, then I wish you both the best. It's your happiness that matters most of all. And if he ever breaks your heart, if the teardrops ever start, I'll be there before the next. Remember when he goes in, ese tere, ese ta.
Yeah. And everybody in their car singing along with that is like.
I have no idea
what. Just making it.
Yeah.
Just noises.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember I was a kid singing that song. I'm going, ese tere burrito taco, and I'm just singing anything that went rindo, ra, the rolling R.
Guerrero.
I'm gonna do you a song, and thanks again for having us, man.
it's
This
great
is so
having
great
you.
to be here and down here at Solis, man. What a great place. I'm gonna come crash it from now. I'm gonna come in here and drink here. I don't know why. I just need an excuse to drink. Let's go to the Solis. I got a song that I wrote, and John Snyder cut it, and he calls me up about a month and a half ago, and he goes, "Get in here." I go, "Where?" He goes, "I cut your song, and I want you to do the duet with me." I went, "Which song?" "This one." So anyway, he cut this, so I think it's gonna be a hit. I don't know. I wrote this with Doug Johnson. You know Doug Johnson?
Yeah.
Doug's a dear friend. I just wrote with him last night. Him and I and Will Michael Morgan wrote a song last night. Country. Anyway, this was called When a redneck meets a long neck with a paycheck, it's a safe bet there's a train wreck of a party going on. Raise your hands if you're a redneck, hell yeah. And if you ain't, then step aside. It's about to get all crazy up in here. Lord knows what happens every time. When a redneck meets a long neck with a paycheck, it's a safe bet there's a train wreck of a party going on. When the sunlight turns to moonlight, turns to all night, turns to alright, betting on to keep it rolling all weekend long. Come on! There's a sweet home Alabama. Come on, my rowdy friends. Charlie Daniels sent that devil back to Georgia, so the South could rise again. When a redneck meets a long neck with a paycheck, it's a safe bet. A train wreck of a party going on. When the sunlight turns to moonlight, turns to alright, turns to alright, betting on to keep it rolling all weekend long. Come on, strong. Redneck meets a long neck with a paycheck, it's a safe bet there's a train wreck of a party going on. When the sunlight turns to moonlight, turns to alright, turns to all night, we're on to keep it rolling all weekend long. When redneck meets a long neck.
That song is just one where you put the mic out to the audience.
Yeah.
Let them sing it because you're not going to be heard.
Let's hope not.
Yeah.
Let's hope not.
Man, it's been great having you here
Oh,
today.
thank you so much. Always a pleasure to see you, and hopefully you can come out tonight.
Yeah.
And
I'll be there.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to bring you on stage too.
Done.
All right.
Done.
Lisa, come back.
Yes.
You can come back too.
Hey, everybody loves a comeback.
Oh yeah, so I gotta come out. That's it.
The song is called Everybody Loves a Comeback. Keith Burns, Lisa Guerrero, comes out August 16th. So really looking forward to having that on the radio all the time.
Awesome.
And please, both of you, come back anytime.
Appreciate
Together, individual, we'd love to have you.
Thank you.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
God bless you. Love
Lisa,
everybody.
it's been great having you.
So nice to meet
Good
you.
luck with the song.
Thank
If
you.
there's anything we can do, please reach out.
Absolutely.
We'll
You're
make
doing
sure
it.
we can help.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the Nashville Access Show with Camo, brought to you by Solis North Gulch Apartments, where taste matters. Catch me every Sunday at noon on Chris Country all across the UK following Bobby Bones. And then catch me on Thursday mornings in Tamworth, Australia with Jody Crosby and John Wolfe on 88.9 Tamworth Radio. We'll see you next time.